Welcome back, everyone. It's EvanHusa57 here. We are back on Dark Souls 3 on the Xbox One with part 26 of the walkthrough. So this is actually the Demon Runes bonfire, and it's in the Smoldering Lake. And I've got a couple things to go over before I get started. One, I am joined by Neo Maximus, so again, he makes an appearance. And he has given me the wonderful Moonlit Greatsword, which is like my favorite sword from Dark Souls, and it's just awesome. So it completes my Battle Mage build, and we will be using that. Now, it is a little bit late, and I didn't get to get this series out as early as possible because I was at 98 Rockfest, which was awesome. At the time I'm recording this, I got a couple videos up that I took there at Rockfest. You should check it out. Had some interesting bands there. Disturbed was there. They absolutely did a fantastic job. So you should check that out if you get the chance to. But anyways, here we go back to the guide. What I am looking for, there is a NPC right here. If you killed him in the previous video when he was a invader, you can summon him. And we will summon him because, yeah, why not? Now, if you are playing by yourself, he is literally like the worst person to summon. He never heals. He doesn't even get a single Estus flask use, and he's always late to engaging enemies. So he's just kind of a distraction, if anything. And we're going to be doing most of the area, so this video will be a little bit longer. But there's an ember, and there's a few items that we're going to get right off the bat, and then we will actually end up doubling back here at the end of the video. So you do have a massive group of enemies, these beastmen right here, but between Neo and this greatsword, which is insane, the amount of damage that this thing does, basically we will shred through those guys and not even worry about them. There is a lovely, lovely item over here that we will be getting before we double back. Just word of caution, there are these two enemies that will try and get on top of you and eat your face off. So yeah, word of caution. Come in here, and there is a little lava slime thing on the ceiling. Correction, it's now on the Night Slayer. And one of these little fire pot things. So this particular type of slime is resistant to physical and fire, but it is very weak to magic. So yeah, there's an ember right there. Now you can try and run and make this jump. It is possible to do, but we are going to ignore that item for right now. It's not worth it, and we have other items that we want to get first. So come down here. Now I would recommend before you go into this area, you have the pyromancy flash sweat and you go ahead and use it, because there are all these little fireballs set up by these guys that they actually do a fair amount of damage to you. So I'm going to take these out with my soul arrows real quick and then move on to the big guys. Okay, somehow he hit me, but he wasn't looking at me. Logic. And those guys pretty much always drop Titanite, so yeah, that's the thing. Come through here, there's two more of those little lava creatures. You can leave them alive if you want. You don't have to kill them, but there's an item right here that we want, which is the undead bone shard. And there is another one of those little lava things that drops down on top of you. So keep that in mind. He didn't do much damage to me. But that actually makes the second undead bone shard that we have gotten for this area. And then that's just another random little Titanite shard. So we will be going for the bonfire area, and then we will be doubling back to this area. So not going to make a left-hand turn just yet. we're going to come in here, and there is a Black Knight wielding a great axe fighting a Beast Man. And the Black Knight will pretty much always kill the Beast Man. You still get credit for it, which is awesome. But you can pick up the Black Knight sword right there. So, nice item. And it's worth having, in my opinion. Kill that guy. There's going to be a couple more of them in this room. There's also going to be another one of those pots, which personally is more dangerous than the Beast Man, simply because the fire always knocks out all of your boys. Come in here. Gonna have a few enemies. There's not a whole lot of enemies, but there's a few of them. Got another guy with a spear. You have a free item for your enjoyment right there. And then this basically is just the other side of where we were over there. So you run through, get that free item, free ember, and come up into this room, which is another bonfire for you. Wow, fireball to the face. So, no chill, man. Not much of a point in being in here other than that fireball to the face and the bonfire. I'll quickly use a Estus. There's nothing that way. It's a dead end. It's rather annoying. This room is dangerous. There are enemies to the right and to the left. And they are these spear guys that have like insane amounts of poise, and they will poison you and do massive damage to you if you're not careful. But you will come in here, and there is this Elizeth, or however you want to pronounce that, but another pyromancy tome for you. So if you're a pyromancer, it's pretty important to come into this area and grab that. Now, once you're out of here, since, again, there's nothing down that way, you pretty much have to backtrack. So, you're going to be coming back into the bonfire room, and there's one more item that you can get. You have to run through this area, and you have all of these slimes that are just on top of you. And you can avoid most of them, because this is a dead end, and it's just a drop down, which is why I don't go there. But yeah, so you're going to be going this way, assuming you don't get stuck on your phantoms. And basically, if you're not locked on to enemies, you can pretty much just roll past all of these slimes. And look where we are. We are on the other side of that gap where we started, and we now have the Estus shard for this area. So we've gotten both undead bone shard pieces, and we've gotten the Estus flask shard for the area. Go ahead and help my phantoms out with these guys. We're done. Now, this basically completed a circle. So what we can do from this point is we can actually jump down here, and it won't be too bad for damage. But this area is, if you wanted to go in there, it takes you back into this section. Personal preference on that. You can go to either bonfire from here, and I don't really care. Either way, I missed an item. But I will be going back to the beginning, because there are more items for us to get, and that is the progression route, which luckily is right here. So, a little bit of a shortcut. I already got the items down there. We'll be going for these items now. First thing we're going to do is come over here and make a right. You will encounter a couple rats. Not really too much to be worried about. Like, literally a handful of rats. And you can see from the other side that there's this giant hole that you have to get to, and this spider. There is yet another pyromancy tome for you. You can come down here, and you will notice that there is a bunch of slimes, and you can see I can lock on to them. And there's probably about 4 or 5 of them in there. But there is this really annoying lava, and this lava is worse than lava in any other Dark Souls game because of the amount of damage that it does to you. It just does an absolute ridiculous amount of damage. So I'm going to show you real fast. Neo, do not follow me. Red bug pellet. I'm going to swap my covetous silver serpent ring for the flame stone plate ring. And I will even use my flash sweat pyromancy. I'm not going to change my armors, but I will show you, you practically take instantaneous massive damage just from touching the lava with all of those buffs. However, if you hold up your shield, you take a lot less damage. So keep that in mind. If you do want the items in here, it is possible for you to get them. The closest one will be a pyromancy. The farthest one is a talisman. Most likely, if you go for the talisman, you will die. So I recommend that you leave it. It's not worth your life. If you want it that badly, you can always come back for it. Now that we have that done, again, I'm going to just quickly swap back to my Silver Serpent ring, because you really don't need the flame ring other than if you're going through the lava. And you'll do the same thing for the next little area. So you'll have another rat right here. And basically, you'll see that there's a hole that leads you down to another lava pit. And that's just really not fun. We can go there later, because there's a couple items, but we don't want to go there right now. Ignore the path to my left, but we will be coming up on a giant rat who hit me through my shield. So that apparently is a thing now. And more little rats. Kill them, take their souls. There'll be an illusionary wall here, and then you have a chest, which is not a mimic. And that gives you some more large titanite shards. There'll be another illusionary wall that lets you drop down to this area right here, and you'll get a very nice staff if you're a sorcerer. But most importantly, you now have a bunch of those little basilisks to deal with, and since that one's already seen me for some reason, I will take the easy way, and I am just going to pelt these guys with magic. Or you could use a bow if you wanted to. That is another viable option. But this also gives you the ability to do a drop attack on them, so very effective way of getting into this area, because these guys are dangerous. Basically, it takes like 3 attacks from them to fully curse you, and if you didn't know, curse is an insta-kill. Like, once that curse meter fills up, you're dead. There is no question about it, and that's the path that we would have come if you didn't take the shortcut. Now we're going to get another area, and you'll see I have that NPC, the Night Slayer, summoned. If you make a left right here, you will run into him as a actual NPC, not a red phantom. But he'll be right down here, and you'll have to fight him, and you kill him, and you get a shield, and you get the Fume Greatsword. So if you want those items, you can get them. Now, there'll be 2 items. One item approximately right there, and then one over right there. Again, another pyromancy, and then a useless item. So what you would have to do is equip all your flame-resistant gear, just like I showed you before. Walk out there and hope you don't die. Dying is, like, most likely what's going to happen, because even with the flash sweat pyromancy, the red bug pellet, the flame stone plate ring, and wearing really good armor with your shield up, you still take a massive amount of damage. now we will be going to another area, get a couple items, and do a very important task. So, watch out for the Black Knight. And I'm not sure where our Night Slayer friend went. There's a soul right there for you. And we shall be going up now. So, we're actually going to climb this ladder, and then we're going to climb the ladder right above this one. And then we're going to jump off. So, you do want to save some health for that fall, and then we'll climb back up. Because there's an item, of course, you know. There's always an item. There's always items. But I am a sucker for items. I wish you could climb up a ladder part way and then, like, turn, look, and jump. But basically, you climb up to the top, come get this. And this is an item that almost everybody wants because it's the Dragon Rider bow. I don't know about you guys, but I wanted it. So, for me, it was worth that little bit of damage to come get it. Now that we have the item and the bow, though, we're going to basically make one more stop, and it will be to turn off the ballista. Thank God, because that thing is really annoying. So you get to this area, and there's not much here, but the ballista will start firing at you again. Keep that in mind. You will be looking for the last remaining items that you need to pick up in this area. You'll have to be pretty quick about it because you're under fire the entire time. But there's 2 homeward bones right there. And they kind of give you the homeward bone on purpose so you can return to the other bonfire. Because this is really out of the way. And you will want to do everything that I showed you in episode 26 first. Before shutting off this ballista. Because you actually need the ballista. Well, I shouldn't say you need it. But it's extremely helpful in killing one enemy here, that sandworm. And yeah, it's also useful for breaching that hole you can see right in front of me. And there's a wall that you get the speckled stone plate ring. So that's basically just a vantage point to kind of show you guys what you actually need the ballista for. You'll have a couple skellies up here. And you have a couple of these assassin guys. Now these guys, if you remember from my last part, they were really annoying. Not so bad with the moonlit now. And of course they drop titanite and they also drop yellow bug pellets. At least they have a pretty good chance to drop those. Yeah, these guys, they're nothing. So kill them. And then you'll notice this big old giant contraption here, and that would be the ballista. So there we go. The ballista is no longer firing, which means at this point you cannot get it to breach any walls for you, but it's no longer shooting at you. And no longer shooting at you is a very, very good thing. So now you can see where we were, and down there we have all those crabs and everything. Take a little bit of a plunge and lose some of our health, but that's what Estus is for. And yeah, those are all those crabs down there. So basically from here, yeah, there's platforms that you can go down if you want to, or you could just homeward bone it. Just depends. I guess we'll jump down because why not? The ballista isn't shooting at us. I wish they put an item over here just for you to get, you know, for jumping down. But now if you missed any items in part 25 or part 24, now's your chance to get them. Because, yeah, you can kill the crabs and do whatever you need to do without literally anything bothering you. So you're all set now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, make sure you leave a comment. Otherwise, smash the like button, share the video, and go ahead and subscribe for more content. I do emphasize on leaving a like and sharing the video because it really does help with the searchability for videos on YouTube. Just really increases the odds of people finding them when they search for it. So that helps out quite a bit. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks to Neo for running through this with me and for my Moonlit Greatsword. I will see you all in episode 27 when we go to fight the boss, which will be right through that door, and that is the old Demon King. So, adios, guys.